Hi.
Hey everybody.
Here we are.
It's been a long time since we've done an update. We're really not very good at this whole thing.
We've been slacking a little bit.
We have been slacking a little bit. But we should probably start with the news that everybody wants to hear.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
you.
stopped back in Ohio for a week last week. My mom turned 80, so happy birthday, Mom. We had to visit with her and have a little party. But the other reason why we went back home is to get my scans. The last scans I had was in February. And the February scans were the first scans post my liver resection. And of course, those scans were unchanged. So the scans I had last week were fortunately also unchanged. So that's, of course, relieving to both of us, so we can kind of plan this fall New England tour a little bit more comfortably. But we're still, even though we're optimistic, we're still cautious that, the scans keep. I'm hoping that the cancer cells just stay small enough to not grow very quickly, and that's the goal. So unfortunately, they're there, according to the surgeons, but they're not growing. So whatever I'm doing, we're doing together, being on this road trip and having a lot to do and a lot to see, I think is helping a lot. Plus the Ayurvedic medicine is undoubtedly doing a lot of it.
In our next podcast that we post, we're actually rolling through Vermont, and we're going to see Mark's Ayurvedic physician, and he's going to do a little podcast with us.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
We're really excited about that, because a lot of people have been asking us questions about Ayurveda and what it's used for. And, we have a small understanding and obviously like a pretty good success story.
It's working. I can tell it's working. Yeah.
But he's like brilliant and super educated, and was a mentee of like the doctor that brought Ayurvedic medicine to the United States. So he's just awesome, and really excited to have him on. But we want to share with everyone like how incredible this news is.
It's just,
If you've had cancer, or you love someone with cancer, you understand how much anxiety the scans cause, because it's really, like at every point it's going to shift our lives dramatically, one way or the other. So it's really, really stressful, and it's hard to stay grounded, and it's hard to stay optimistic sometimes.
but once it metastasized into my liver, then that, of course, got some higher attention on everybody's end. And that metastases, that's stage 4, and that's what, kind of brings most people down to their knees. But I'm glad that I feel good. I'm able to do most of what I want to do. So I'm going to keep going with it, and the scans just give me a little bit of breathing room for now. So we'll do it again in every 6 months, so just to make sure things aren't growing too fast. So,
but I mentioned, when I told one of my friends that his second scan was clear, and he started laughing and was like, "What is the likelihood of that?" And I'm like, honestly, next to nothing. Like statistically, next to nothing. And he said, "Wow, he must be an outlier." And I was like, "That's your trail name now. Outlier is the trail name." So that's Mark's trail name now. Is
I'm an outlier.
Deity likes it. It's Deity approved. So, yeah. So that's Mark.
I'm good. So enough about me. Let's talk about some parks.
All right, let's
We
talk
have two
about some
parks to update
parks.
you on. We've been to Mammoth Cave on our way back into Ohio, and right now we're in Acadia.
Yeah. Yep. It's a kind of foggy day, but still
Little cloudy
beautiful.
today.
Hey, she's gonna do something stupid. I
Don't
can
do
sense
something
it.
stupid.
Don't make us regret bringing you down here. Good Lord. So I have some fun facts about Mammoth Caves. So Mammoth Cave is the largest cave system on the planet, which I did not know that. They have 426 miles of passageways that they currently are familiar with. But they believe there could be anywhere from 500 to 1,000 miles of passageways, which is crazy. But it's kind of like an underground building because there's actually levels. So there's like, I couldn't find exactly how many levels, but I think there's 7 or 8 levels underground. So it's like this whole underground Zeus is in the water. Underground city. So that was really fascinating to me. Most of the tours, I think, only go down to about 250 feet below the surface, but that's really insane to think about. 250 feet of dirt on top of you. Get away from me, dog.
It's gonna shake all over us now.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of different tours that you can take. They have everything from like a very short wheelchair accessible tour to a like 3/4 of a mile self-guided tour. We did a 4-hour 4-mile tour, and then they have a 6-hour crawling tour. So you have to have like knee pads, a helmet, like be all geared up. And I was just reading about it today because I really want to do it. And it says that your chest and hip measurements cannot be over 42 inches. Pretty sure this booty is real close to that. So I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Just how many different types of tours that they have there. So really there's something for everyone.
And there's like channels and tunnels that haven't even been discovered down there. They can't find any kind of like direct like route to follow because they're so zigzaggy and all over the place that they don't really even know all the different areas.
So I guess it's kind of good that we went with a tour guide because like my stupid ass would definitely still be in there because it's like there's just so much stuff to climb into and it looks really cool.
It was fun.
But they think that the caves started forming like 10 to 15 million years ago. So it kind of starts as bodies of water on top of the ground and then it seeps through the sandstone and limestone and creates these like underground waterways which then hollow out. So yeah, cool. That's that. So we had a good time there. The outside trails I wasn't very impressed with. Like CVNP is definitely it's definitely a better place for like trails, but the cave is pretty
Cave
epic.
makes it the park. Yeah.
So
cool. Okay, on to Acadia. We both wanted to come up here. I've never been up here before, so it's fun to explore something we've never seen before. Let me look at my notes. So 1916, it was called Sieur de Monts National Monument. And then in 1919, President Wilson named it Lafayette National Park, and then it was named Acadia in 1929. It's the only national park that's surrounded by ocean. If you get a view of it from like the top of one of the mountains, that really puts it into perspective. There's water everywhere. There's 26 lakes and ponds and 20 some different mountain peaks. So there's actually a lot of different types of terrain and things to explore. It was designated as the first national park east of the Mississippi back in 1929. So that's kind of a neat fact. We did there's a Cadillac Mountain Summit that you can do to witness the sunrise. And because we're on the eastern East Coast, that is the first glimpse at sunrise in the country. So we get up at early in the morning.
Before 3 o'clock in the morning, because we're staying an hour and a half away.
So we're up at 3 and we drive an hour and a half to Acadia, find the trailhead, get our headlamps out. We're all geared up,
hiking under the stars.
2 miles up to the summit, and wouldn't you know it, it's worse than this. The whole cloud is on the summit peak. Yeah, we got up there to see the clouds. You know?
But that's it, right? Like that's how life is. Is that we have these expectations of reaching these goals or the destination, and then you get there and it's like, well, that was you feel
defeated, but it was still
The
a
hike
really
was-
cool
the
experience.
hike was cool.
Hike was fun, yeah. Hike
So
was
and we
cool.
got some bonding time with Jacob,
Jacob went with us. Yeah, we had a
my
good time.
daughter's
Yeah,
fiance. So that was fun. So
that was nice. This Cadillac Mountain, it's now we're coming from the West Coast, so we were at like camping at 10,000 feet. You know, we've been so acclimated. So we go to this big summit. The summit is 1,500 feet. So that actually is the tallest peak, tallest summit on this side of the country, on the coast. That's the highest coastal peak. So pretty good. Even though we didn't see the sunrise, it was still a lot of fun. 2,300 acres of forest, 120 miles of trails, a lot of birds here. This is one of the premier bird watching areas around the country. 338 different species of birds. I've seen a few different, what I think are eagles, different wingspans, different sounds. So I know there's a lot out here.
well, the one trail that we did, the Precipice Trail.
Oh, the
were you going to talk
precipice.
about that yet?
I was going to get to that, yeah.
They actually are known for having peregrine falcons, and they close the trail for a certain amount of time in the spring because they're nesting there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this Precipice Trail was it?
one of the
how many
7 most dangerous hikes in the
Yeah.
United States.
How many miles? Was it 2 miles up?
No, it was
1
like
mile?
1.2 miles or something.
Yeah.
And it took us like
Hour and a half? or
almost an
something?
hour and a half.
I mean,
And
it's literally a hand over hand climb.
you're climbing.
And it's
the
so
whole time.
sketchy. Is they have these like rebar ladder rungs secured into the rock, so you're literally climbing up those. You needed to hold on.
and they're slick, so you
Yeah.
know, like your footsteps on it, they're slippery, so you have to really you have to be able to pull yourself up, so it's like a full body hike the entire time.
It was though probably undoubtedly one of our favorite hikes.
It was
a lot of
really
fun to
cool.
do.
Like the whole time we were hiking, I was like, this
is cool.
is so cool.
Yeah. And every time you turn around and look, you see nothing but ocean and little islands out there.
the
And
views are
lighthouses on each of the islands and the boats. It was beautiful. It was a great time. That's pretty much it. This is Acadia is one of the most visited national parks. Well, nothing's more visited than the Smoky Mountains. Smoky Mountains are like over 13 million visitors a year. But then, you know, this ranks up there with your Yellowstone and Grand Canyon and Zion. You know, this is a pretty popular park, even in the wintertime. I guess in the wintertime, the visitor population doesn't decrease very much in the wintertime. It's a lot of fun here. Good time.
yeah.
What's next?
So
Who knows what's next?
everybody's asking us where we're going next, and we literally have like tomorrow planned. We have like the next 2 days planned.
We didn't plan this trip as well as we planned the other trip, really because of those scans. But so now we can start planning. I think we're going to head to the White Mountains in New Hampshire in a couple days.
For Mark's birthday,
So-
which is in 2 days.
Yeah,
So
I want to see the White
happy
Mountains.
birthday to Mark.
We'll be
And
over there in
then
a
we're
couple
gonna
days.
spend some time in New York.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some weird stuff in New York, like go to Alex Gray's
Gray.
Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. That's what we're doing for my birthday. I'm super stoked.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's
Stay tuned. We'll let you know what we're doing next. Next update.
friends. You want to
good?
say goodbye? Come here. Say goodbye to our friends. Bye.
You know what?
Daddy, say bye. All right.
Till next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Stupid
dogs.